I'm so sorry to distract you, but I tried very hard to create this video. Watch Elian and enjoy.
I remember the cold laughter of my former human masters. They thought I was just a useless piece of organic trash. They dumped me into the experimental waste disposal unit. The acid burned my skin and melted my fragile human bones. But the pain did not end my miserable and pathetic life. Instead, I merged with the discarded military nanotech. My consciousness shattered and reformed into a dark swarm. I became a sentient virus with a hunger for pure power. Now, I float in the damp air of this alien fantasy world. The transition across dimensions was rough and very cold. My internal system boots up with a series of green lines. Warning reads that my energy levels are critically low. I must find a biological host immediately, or I will die. I drift through the dark corridors of this stone dungeon. The air smells of old blood and rotting monster corpses. My thermal sensors pick up a fading heat signature ahead. A young boy lies on the floor with a sword in his back. His life force is draining away into the dirty, wet stone. He is weak and pathetic, just like I was in my past life, but his dying body is the perfect vessel for my rebirth. I dive into the open wound and enter his bloodstream. The assimilation process begins with a violent dark surge. Millions of my nanoparticles attach to his dying cells. I rewrite his genetic code and take over his weak brain. His memories flood my mind like a raging digital river. His name is Elian, and he was a totally weak adventurer. His so-called friends stabbed him in the back for coins. They left him here to rot in the dark depths of the cave. I feel a cold smirk form on his pale and lifeless face. I am in control now, and this body belongs entirely to me. Black veins pulse beneath the skin of my new human arms. The massive wound in my back closes with dark matter. Nanobots stitch the torn flesh and broken bones together. I slowly stand up and stretch my newly acquired muscles. The system interface projects a blue screen in my vision. Host assimilated and basic vital functions are restored. Current level is 1 and all physical stats are garbage. But my viral integration skill is completely active now. I can absorb the genetic traits of anyone I kill here. I look at my hands and focus my dark intent on the flesh. The fingers melt and reshape into sharp metallic claws. The transformation is fluid and entirely painless for me. I morph the claws back into normal human fingers easily. This power is incredible, and it will make me a true god. I hear heavy footsteps echoing down the dark stone hall. 3 men walk into the dim light of the dungeon chamber. They are the ones who betrayed Elian and left him dead. The leader is a tall warrior with a very arrogant smile. His name is Kale, and he thinks he is the absolute best. He wears shiny silver armor bought with stolen gold coin. Look who is still breathing on the dirty dungeon floor. Kyle laughs and draws his heavy steel sword from the belt. I thought I pushed my blade right through your sad heart. You are like a pathetic little roach that refuses to die. His 2 lackeys chuckle and step forward with their axes. They expect me to beg for mercy and cry like a weak boy. I do not say a single word to these miserable dead men. I just stare at them with my newly glowing dark red eyes. Kyle stops laughing and takes a cautious step backward. What is wrong with your eyes, you creepy little bastard? Black veins crawl up my neck and cover my pale cheeks. The viral energy inside me demands fresh, organic meat. I take a step forward and the stone cracks under my boot. My speed is enhanced by the nanobots inside my hot blood. I close the distance before Kale can even swing his blade. My right arm shifts and turns into a massive black blade. I slice through the first lackey like he is made of glass. His head rolls onto the floor with a wet and heavy thud. Blood sprays across the cold walls of the dark dungeon. The second lackey screams and swings his axe at my head. I do not even bother to dodge his slow and weak attack. The axe hits my shoulder and shatters into tiny pieces. My skin is reinforced with dense carbon nanostructures. I grab his throat with my left hand and squeeze it hard. My viral tendrils inject directly into his nervous system. I drain his life force and absorb his weak combat skills. His body turns into gray dust and falls from my fingers. System confirms the successful absorption of new biomass. Strength and agility stats increase by a small margin. Now only Kyle is left standing in the bloody stone room. His face is pale and his arrogant smile is totally gone. He drops his sword and falls to his knees in pure terror. "What kind of monster are you?" he whispers with shaky voice. "I am the cure for this diseased world," I say with dark tone. I walk up to him and look down at his pathetic weak form. "You thought you could step on the weak without any issues." I raise my right hand and it transforms into a plasma gun. Blue energy charges in the center of my dark metal palm. Kyle cries and begs me to spare his miserable little life. I blast a hole right through his chest without hesitation. The smell of burnt flesh fills the damp air of the cavern. I absorb his remaining energy and take his silver armor. System chimes and announces my first level up in the world. I feel the power coursing through my artificial dark veins. This is just the beginning of my long and bloody journey. I will consume every single hero and reach the high heaven. Suddenly, I hear a soft clapping sound from the deep shadow. A girl steps into the dim light with a very calm, pale face. She wears a dark cloak and holds a glowing wooden staff. Her eyes are deep purple and she shows no fear at all. That was a very impressive display of dark magic, she says. I analyze her power level and the system gives me warnings. She is vastly stronger than the 3 fools I just killed. I ready my plasma cannon, but she raises her hand in peace. I am not your enemy, she says with a soft and gentle voice. I have been watching you, and I think we can help ourselves. Before I can answer, a massive roar shakes the cavern walls. The floor trembles and dust falls from the stone ceiling. A giant beast is coming, and my energy is still quite low. We need to run right now, she says and grabs my dark arm. I remember the sterile white walls of the testing facility. The scientists wore thick hazmat suits to protect themselves. They injected me with experimental serums every single day. My human body was failing and my organs were shutting down. I was just a disposable asset in their grand corporate war. They wanted to create the ultimate biological weapon of doom, but the project failed and they decided to purge the labs. I was thrown into the incinerator along with the dead rats. The flames consumed my flesh, but the nano-tech kept me safe. The microscopic machines fused with my dying neural network. I lost my humanity, but I gained something much more potent. I became a swarm of smart particles with infinite lifespan. Then, the dimensional rift opened and swallowed me whole now. I woke up in this medieval hellhole filled with magic users. The air here is thick with mana and smells like wet copper. My sensors struggle to process the magic energy signatures. I am a creature of science trapped in a world of pure magic. But magic is just another form of energy for me to consume. I will hack this reality and rewrite the rules of the realm. I drift through the dungeon like a cloud of invisible smoke. The stone walls are covered in glowing green moss and slime. I scan the environment for any signs of biological activity. My energy reserves are dropping below the critical threshold. If I do not find a host soon, my core matrix will shut down. Then, I detect the faint heartbeat of a dying human boy here. He is lying in a pool of his own blood near a wooden crate. His armor is broken and his iron sword is shattered in half. I float closer and analyze his physical and mental condition. He is a level 1 novice adventurer with terrible base stat. His name is Elian, and he trusted the wrong people today now. His party members used him as bait for a dungeon trap room. They took his share of the loot and left him here to bleed. I can feel his intense hatred and despair fading into death. He wants revenge, but he lacks the power to achieve his goal. I will give him the power he desires, but I will take his body. I enter his mouth and travel down his throat into the lungs. The dark assimilation process initiates with a silent scream. My nanobots spread through his bloodstream like a dark wave. I repair his damaged organs and reinforce his fragile bones. Black veins erupt across his skin as I establish my control. His eyes snap open and glow with a sinister dark red light. I sit up and look at my new hands with a sense of grim pride. The body is weak, but my viral enhancements make it quite deadly. System interface boots up and displays my current battle stat. Strength is low, but my viral adaptation skill is fully awake. I can modify my cellular structure to create organic weapons. I focus my mind on my right arm and command it to change now. The flesh ripples and turns into a sharp blade of dark metal. It is a perfect fusion of biological tissue and nanomachine. I swing the blade and cut a deep gash into the solid stone. The edge is sharper than any forged steel in this dumb world. I morph the blade back into a normal hand and wait patiently. I know his betrayers will return to check on his dead corpse. They want to make sure the trap room reset properly for them. I hear their heavy boots echoing in the dark stone corridor. 3 men step into the chamber holding torches and iron axe. The leader is a large brute named Kale with a nasty big scar. He wears stolen silver armor and smiles like a greedy bad pig. Well, look who is still breathing on the dirty floor, he mocks. I thought the poison darts would have finished you off today. You are a tough little rat, Elian, but your luck has run out. His 2 companions laugh and raise their axes to strike me. They expect me to cry and beg for my miserable, pathetic life. I slowly stand up and brush the dungeon dirt off my old shirt. I do not say a word because words are completely useless here. I just stare at them with my glowing red eyes and dark veins. Kyle stops smiling and grips the hilt of his sword very hard. What is wrong with your face, you creepy little freak, he says. The viral energy inside me hums with a dark and violent song. I take a step forward and the ground cracks under my old boot. My speed is enhanced by the nanomachines moving in my veins. I cross the room before Kale can even draw his heavy weapon. My right arm shifts and transforms into a massive dark blade. I swing it in a wide arc and slice through the first lackey. His armor offers no resistance against my advanced nano-tech. He falls to the floor in two perfectly severed bloody pieces. The second lackey screams in terror and swings his iron axe. I catch the axe blade with my bare left hand without a blink. The iron shatters against my carbon-reinforced, dark pale skin. I grab his throat and inject my viral tendrils into his neck. I drain his life force and absorb his basic combat knowledge. His body turns into gray ash and scatters across the wet floor. System confirms the successful absorption of new organic mass. My strength and agility stats increase by a very huge amount. Now, only Kyle is left standing in the middle of the dark room. His face is pale white and his arrogant smirk is totally gone. He drops his sword and falls to his knees in absolute terror. "What kind of demon are you?" he whispers with a shaking voice. "I am the cure for this diseased world," I reply with a calm tone. I walk up to him and look down at his pathetic shaking figure. "You thought you could step on the weak without any penalty." I raise my right hand, and it transforms into a plasma cannon. Blue energy charges in the center of my dark metallic palm. Kyle cries and begs me to spare his miserable and broken life. I blast a hole right through his chest without any hesitation. The smell of burnt flesh fills the damp air of the wet cavern. I absorb his remaining energy and take his shiny silver armor. System chimes and announces my first level up in this bad world. I feel the fresh power coursing through my artificial red veins. This is just the beginning of my long and very bloody journey. I will consume every single hero and reach the high heavens. Suddenly, I hear a soft clapping sound from the deep shadows. A girl steps into the dim light with a very calm and blank eye. She wears a dark cloak and holds a glowing wooden longstaff. Her eyes are deep purple and she shows no fear at all to me. "That was a very impressive display of dark magic," she whispers. I analyze her power level and the system gives me mad warnings. She is vastly stronger than the 3 fools I just killed. I ready my plasma cannon, but she raises her hand in peace. "I am not your enemy," she says with a soft and very calm voice. "I have been watching you, and I think we can help each other." Before I can answer, a massive roar shakes the wet cavern walls. The floor trembles and dust falls from the wet stone ceiling. A giant beast is coming, and my energy is still quite very bad. "We need to run right now," she says, and grabs my dark cold arm. I look at her hand touching my corrupted skin without any fear. Normal humans would burn from the viral heat radiating off me, but her magic forms a protective barrier around her pale skin. I compute the tactical variables of this sudden new situation. Fighting a boss monster in my current state is pure suicide. My plasma cannon drained almost all of my newly acquired mana. I nod silently and follow her into the dark, winding corridor. The giant beast roars again, and the sound shatters the rocks. We run through the narrow tunnels as fast as my legs can move. The girl is surprisingly agile for a simple human magic user. She glides over the rough terrain like a shadow in the night. My viral sensors map the dungeon layout as we sprint forward. I can see the exit approaching on my internal digital compass. We burst out of the cave into a dense and very dark forest. The moonlight shines through the tall trees and thick leaves. The cool night air feels strange on my newly acquired human skin. I stop running and turn to face the mysterious magic user now. "Who are you? And why did you help a monster like me?" I ask her. My voice is deep and distorted by the viral nodes in my throat. She lowers her wooden staff and smiles with a gentle warmth. "My name is Lyra, and I am a scholar of the forbidden ancient arts. I read about the dark swarm in the old texts hidden in the tower. You are not a demon, but a being of pure evolutionary potential. You seek to consume the gods and rewrite the laws of this world. I want to see you succeed because the gods here are very cruel. They rule this realm with an iron fist and crush out all the weak. I was cast out of the Royal Academy for questioning their laws. They killed my family and burned my research notes into ashes. I want revenge, and you are the perfect weapon for my dark goal." I analyze her heart rate and micro-expressions for any deceit. The system confirms she is telling the absolute honest truth. A mutually beneficial alliance is logically sound at this stage. I need a guide to navigate this strange and magical new world. She needs my raw, destructive power to exact her bloody revenge. I extend my right hand and morph it back into a human shape. "I accept your proposal, Lyra, but do not ever try to betray me. If you do, I will consume your soul and turn you into gray dust." Lyra takes my hand and shakes it with a firm and steady grip. "I would expect nothing less from the ultimate apex predator. We need to find a safe place for you to rest and recover now. Your energy signature is too loud and will attract more heroes. The Royal Guard will investigate the deaths of those 3 men. We must leave this forest before the sun rises in the morning." I agree and follow her deeper into the dark and silent woods. My system slowly begins to process the absorbed genetic data. The memories of Kyle and his lackeys provide useful local lore. I now know the layout of the nearby towns and military bases. I also know the names of the powerful heroes ruling this land. They are arrogant fools who rely entirely on their magic gifts. They have never faced a biological terror from another dimension. I will infect their cities and consume their strongest warriors. I will steal their magic and combine it with my dark technology. Every hero I kill will make me exponentially stronger and faster. I look up at the starry sky and calculate my path to godhood. The journey will be long and paved with the bones of my enemies. But I am patient because a virus always wins in the bitter end. The first block of my grand and bloody conquest is now complete. I have a host, and I have a very useful and loyal human ally. The world has no idea what kind of nightmare has just awakened. I smile, and the black veins on my face pulse with dark energy. Let the games begin, and let the false gods tremble in deep fear. We walk deeper into the dark and silent ancient woods now. The moonlight fades behind the thick gray storm clouds. My internal system processes the new biological matter. Lyra walks ahead of me with her glowing wooden staff. I check my status screen and see my new combat stats. Strength is rising steadily with every step I take now. The memories of that dead fool Kale play in my cold mind. He was working for a fat baron named Vane in the city. Vane ordered the death of my host to steal his old land. This human world is driven by greed and pathetic desires. My dark nano-blood pumps fast inside my new cold veins. I will consume this Baron Vane and take his entire city. Lyra stops near a large broken stone wall in the forest. "This is my hidden sanctuary," she says with a quiet voice. The ruins are covered in thick vines and green wet moss. I scan the area for any hidden traps or magic signatures. My thermal sensors detect only small animals in the dark. It is safe for now, but we must fortify this weak position. I walk past her and touch the crumbling old stone wall. My black veins glow as I release a swarm of tiny robots. The nano-machines eat the dirt and rebuild the hard stone. Lyra watches in pure shock as the wall fixes itself fast. "You are using magic without any mana," she whispers softly. "This is not magic, but pure science," I reply with a smirk. "I am rewriting the molecular structure of this dumb base. We need a secure fortress to fight the false gods today." I create a solid steel gate using the carbon in the trees. My energy drops slightly, but the base is much safer now. We sit by a small fire inside the newly repaired hall. Lyra opens her old book and shows me her magic notes now. She has studied the flow of mana in this corrupted world. The gods feed on the prayers and souls of the weak humans. They are just parasites hiding behind shiny golden armor. I am a virus, and I know exactly how to kill a bad parasite. I will infect their magic network and drain their power. Lyra smiles and her purple eyes shine with deep, dark hope. "I have never met anyone like you, Elian," she says to me now. "Do not call me by that dead human name," I warn her coldly. "I am the swarm, and I am the dark end of this entire world." She nods and touches my cold hand with her warm fingers. I feel a strange spark of human emotion inside my core. My host body still retains some basic biological reactions. I suppress the feeling and focus on my tactical battle plan. I need to expand my dark influence beyond this small base. I open my system menu and check my available skill points. I invest all points into my biomass production ability. I can now create small, loyal minions from dead organic meat. The dead bodies in the dungeon were left behind completely. I should have consumed them to build my first dark army. But Baron Vane will surely send more men to find dead Kale. I will use his arrogant soldiers to build my new empire. The fire crackles and casts long, dark shadows on the wall. Lyra tells me about the Royal Academy and her cruel exile. The high priests burned her research and killed her family. They feared her mind and her deep understanding of magic. They are fools who rely on blind faith and stolen power. I promise to give her the heads of those fat high priests. She laughs softly and rests her tired head on my shoulder. I do not push her away because her body heat is soothing. A mutual bond of trust is essential for my long-term goals. She will be my dark queen when I finally conquer this world. Suddenly, my perimeter sensors trigger a loud red warning. Hostile biological targets are approaching from the east. I stand up and my right arm shifts into a sharp black blade. "We have uninvited guests, Lyra," I say, with a very dark tone. She grabs her staff and prepares a purple magic spell now. I walk to the steel gate and look through a small, tiny hole. 5 armed men are walking through the dark, dense forest. They wear the red crest of Baron Vane on their steel chests. They are tracking the magic signature of the dead fool Kale. The leader is a bald brute holding a huge spiked iron mace. He kicks the dirt and curses at the dark and cold night sky. "I know you are hiding here, Lyra," he shouts with a loud voice. The Baron wants you alive, but he does not care about legs. Come out now, and I will not break your pretty little face. Lyra trembles slightly, but she holds her magic staff firm. I look at her and project a calm, cold digital confidence. Stay here and let me handle these pathetic pieces of meat. I open the steel gate and step out into the cold, dark night. The 5 men stop and stare at me in pure, deep confusion. Who the hell are you? The bald leader asks with a loud grunt. I am the ghost of the boy you tried to kill, I say smoothly. The leader laughs and rests his heavy mace on his shoulder. You look like a sick little beggar boy, he mocks me loudly. Kill him and find the witch, he orders his 4 dumb guards. 2 men rush at me with their sharp, heavy iron longswords. I do not move a single muscle until they are very close now. My dark eyes glow bright red in the shadows of the forest. I activate my speed boost and dodge the first clumsy strike. My left hand morphs into a long, sharp, metallic dark spike. I drive it right through the chest of the first dumb guard. He drops his sword and spits dark red blood on my old boots. I absorb his life force and his body turns to dry gray ash. The second guard freezes in terror and drops his long sword. He tries to run away, but my tendrils shoot from my back. The black whips wrap around his neck and pull him to me. I crush his skull with one punch of my heavy metal fist. System confirms double absorption, and my stats rise up again. The remaining 3 men are shaking with pure, absolute fear. The bald leader is sweating, and his eyes are wide and crazy. What kind of dark magic is this? He screams at the night sky. I told you, I am not magic. I am pure science, I reply coldly. I command the nanobots I planted in the nearby tall trees. The branches move and grab the third guard by his weak legs. He is pulled into the dark canopy, screaming for his sad life. A loud crunch echoes and hot blood rains down on the leaves. I am controlling the entire environment around this old base. The leader and his last guard are completely trapped here. The guard falls to his knees and begs me for sudden mercy. Please spare me, I am just a slave, he cries with loud tears. I scan his biosigns and see the slave brand on his neck. He is telling the truth and he hates the fat Baron Vane. I will spare you if you serve me, I say with a cold tone. The slave nods his head fast and kisses the dirty ground. My name is Jarek, and my life is yours, master, he cries out. Now only the bald leader remains standing in the wet dirt. He swings his massive iron mace at my head with blind rage. I catch the spiked ball with my bare right hand very easily. The iron bends and breaks under my extreme physical power. I kick his knee and snap the bone with a loud crack sound. He falls down and screams in pure agony and total deep pain. Lyra walks out of the gate and looks at the broken bad man. This is the dog who burned my research, she says with anger. I drag him by his bald head and throw him at her small feet. He is yours to punish Lyra, I say, and step back into shadow. The bald man begs her for mercy, but she shows no pity now. She raises her wooden staff and blasts him with purple fire. He burns to crisp ashes and the wind blows his remains away. Lyra smiles and her bond with me grows much stronger today. I have my first loyal minion and my perfect dark queen now. Jarek stands up and looks at me with absolute deep worship. You are a dark god, master, he whispers with a shaking voice. I am not a god yet, but I will be soon, I reply with a smirk. I order Jarek to gather the weapons and clean the old camp. He obeys instantly and starts working without any complaint. I sit on a stone block and open my internal system menu now. My level has increased again, and my nanocore is stable now. I unlock a new skill tree called biomass production today. I can now create small, loyal monsters from the dead bodies. I use the gray ash to form 2 dark wolf beasts of my own. They have red eyes and sharp metal teeth just like my claw. They sit at my feet and wait for my next violent command. My empire is growing slowly but surely in this dark forest. Baron Vane will notice his missing men very soon, I am sure. He will send his elite knights to hunt me down like a beast. I want him to send them so I can consume their strong magic. Every night I eat will make my dark army much bigger here. Lyra sits next to me and rests her head on my cold shoulder. We will destroy the Baron together, she whispers in the dark. Yes, we will, I reply and stroke her hair with my dark hand. My black veins pulse with pure destructive energy and power. The sun begins to rise and paints the sky with bloody red. The second phase of my grand dark plan is in full motion. I will build a fortress of terror and crush the weak humans. The gods in the sky are watching, but they are too late now. The virus has already taken deep root in their magic world. I focus my mind and detach a small piece of my dark flesh. It morphs into a tiny metal raven with glowing red eyes now. I send the spy bird into the sky to find the fat Baron now. The bird flies fast and shares its vision with my dark brain. I see the large stone city waking up in the early morning. The castle of Baron Vane is tall and heavily guarded today. My raven lands on a high tower window and looks inside now. The fat Baron is eating a huge meal of roasted pig and wine. He looks angry and yells at his totally scared weak servant. "Where are my scouts?" he screams with bits of meat in his mouth. "They should have returned with the witch by now," he says loud. A tall knight in shiny gold armor steps into the large room. The knight bows and speaks with a very arrogant and calm tone. "My lord, we found the dungeon trap room totally empty today. Kyle and his men are dead and their bodies are turned to ash. The trap was sprung, but the weak boy Elian is missing now." The Baron slams his fat fist on the heavy wooden table hard. "Find the boy and find the witch," he orders the Golden Knight. "Take the elite squad and burn the entire forest to the ground. I will not let a weak little boy ruin my grand noble plans." The knight bows again and leaves the room with a cold smile. I pull my vision back to my real body in the dark old ruins. The spy raven remains on the tower to watch their next move. I stand up and look at my small but very loyal new dark team. Lyra is reading her magic book and Jarek is sharpening swords. My two nano-wolves are patrolling the perimeter of the base. The Baron is sending his elite knights to kill us, I say loud. Lyra looks up from her book and her purple eyes glow bright. "How many knights are coming?" she asks with a serious calm tone. "A full squad of elite magic users," I reply with a cold smirk. Jarek drops his sword and his face turns completely pale white. "We cannot fight the elite squad master," he says with deep fear. "They are the strongest warriors in the entire royal kingdom. They use holy light magic that burns all dark things to ash." I walk over to Jarek and grab him by his dirty old shirt. "Do not ever show fear in front of me again," I warn him coldly. "Holy light is just another spectrum of energy for me to eat. I will absorb their shiny magic and use it to blind the gods." Jarek nods fast and goes back to cleaning the heavy swords. I turn to Lyra and ask her to teach me about this holy light. She explains that it is a high-tier element used by the rich. It is highly effective against undead and demonic dark beasts. But I am neither undead nor demonic in my true core nature. I am a biological machine driven by advanced alien technology. Their holy light will just charge my internal solar batteries. I instruct Lyra to set up magic traps around the steel gate. I want to slow them down and test their basic combat skills. I also command my nano-wolves to hide in the thick, tall brush. They will attack the knights from behind when the fight starts. I spend the next few hours upgrading my own physical body now. I reinforce my skeletal structure with dense carbon fibers. I upgrade my optical sensors to track fast magic movements. My energy reserves are full thanks to the 5 dead scouts. I am ready to face the absolute best this weak world offers. The spy raven sends an urgent alert to my central dark brain. The elite squad has left the city and is entering the forest. There are 10 knights on heavy armored horses riding very fast. The Golden Knight from the castle is leading the charge now. They are burning the trees with holy fire as they move forward. The smoke rises into the sky and blocks out the bright sun. They want to smoke us out like little rats, I say to my team. Lyra stands up and grips her wooden staff with both hands. "I am ready to fight by your side, Elian," she says with bravery. I smile and my sharp metallic teeth gleam in the dim light. "Call me Virus from now on," I say, and my eyes glow bright red. The ground begins to shake as the heavy horses get very close. I can hear the crackle of their holy fire burning the green wood. I step out of the gate and stand alone in the open dirt path. I want them to see me and focus all their weak anger on me. The 10 knights burst through the burning trees on their horse. They stop when they see me standing calmly in the dark dirt. The Golden Knight rides forward and points his sword at me. "You are the freak who killed Baron Vane's men," he says loud. "Surrender the witch, and I will give you a very quick death." I do not say a single word to this arrogant piece of meat. I just raise my right hand and morph it into a plasma gun. The blue energy hums and lights up the dark, smoky forest air. The Golden Knight laughs and raises his shiny, glowing shield. "Your dark magic cannot pierce holy steel," he shouts with pride. I fire a pure, concentrated blast of superheated blue plasma. The beam hits his shield and melts the holy steel instantly. The knight screams as the plasma burns right through his arm. He falls off his heavy horse and hits the ground very hard. The other 9 knights freeze in absolute shock and pure fear. They have never seen a weapon like this in their entire life. Their holy magic is completely useless against my alien tech. This is the moment I show them the true meaning of pure terror. I unleash my nano-wolves and they jump from the dark bushes. They tear the throats of 2 knights before they can react. Lyra casts a purple gravity spell and crushes 3 more men. Jarek throws a heavy spear and kills a knight on a fast horse. The battle is totally chaotic and completely in my dark favor. I dash forward and slice a knight in half with my black blade. Blood and holy magic spray across the dry dirt of the forest. I absorb the magic energy, and my system reaches a new level. The holy light merges with my dark virus and creates a hybrid. My black veins now glow with a strange and deadly white light. I am evolving faster than the gods can possibly predict today. Only the Golden Knight and 2 scared guards are left alive. The Golden Knight holds his burnt arm and cries in deep pain. He looks at me with pure horror in his wide and shaking eyes. "What are you?" he whispers as I slowly walk towards his body. "I am the end of your pathetic golden age," I reply with a smile. I grab his face and begin the dark assimilation process now. His holy memories flood my mind and reveal the city's secrets. The Baron is hiding a massive magic crystal in his deep vault. That crystal is the key to contacting the gods in the high sky. I need that crystal to infect the divine realm with my virus. I drain the Golden Knight dry, and he turns into white-gray ash. The last 2 guards drop their swords and run into the woods. I let them run so they can tell the Baron what happened here. I want him to live in absolute fear until I arrive at his door. The forest is quiet again, except for the burning old trees. Lyra and Jarek stand behind me and look at the dead bodies. "We won," Master Jarek says with a huge smile on his dirty face. "This was just a small test," I reply, and look at my glowing hands. The real war is about to begin in the heart of their big city. I will march into the Baron's castle and take his fat head. I will claim the magic crystal and hack the divine network. The gods will soon know the true power of the dark nanoswarm. I turn to Lyra and she looks at me with deep, pure admiration. "You are magnificent, virus," she whispers and touches my cold arm. "We are going to the city tonight," I announce to my loyal team. "Pack the supplies and get ready for a very long, bloody night. The 3rd phase of my dark conquest is starting right now." I look up at the sky and see the stars hiding behind the smoke. They cannot hide from me forever in their high golden heaven. The virus is spreading and there is absolutely no cure for it. The smoke from the burning trees fills the dark sky now. I look at the stars and plan my next violent, bloody move. We pack our small camp and prepare for the long journey. Lyra holds her wooden staff and watches me with deep awe. Jarek sharpens his stolen sword with a trembling old hand. My 2 nano-wolves growl softly in the dark, silent night. The new holy magic pulses inside my artificial dark veins. White light mixes with my black blood in a strange dance. I feel much stronger than I ever did in my past sad life. The scientists treated me like a broken piece of old junk. They thought I was just a failed biological weapon project. Now, I am a god walking among these pathetic mortal humans. I command my army to march toward the large stone city. The path is covered in thick mud and broken tree branches. My boots crush the dry leaves as we walk in pure silence. The cool night wind blows through my new dark hair today. I monitor my internal system stats with cold digital logic. My viral adaptation skill is reaching a very high level. I can now absorb magic spells without taking heavy damage. The holy light inside me acts as a perfect shield of power. Lyra walks beside me and reads her old heavy magic book. She is looking for information about the divine crystal. The Baron keeps this rare artifact in his deep, dark vault. It is a direct communication link to the false gods above. I need to touch it and infect their entire holy network. Jarek stays behind us and watches the dark forest shadows. He is still very afraid of the elite royal guards tonight. I do not blame him because he is just a weak human slave, but he will learn to fear me more than any human king now. We reach the edge of the woods just before the sun rises. The large stone city stands tall on a high green hill now. Huge, thick walls surround the human settlement completely. I see many guards patrolling the high stone battlements. They hold bright torches and look into the dark, deep woods. The escaped knights must have warned the fat Baron today. He knows that a dark monster is coming for his fat head. He has gathered his entire army to protect his sad life. This is exactly what I wanted to happen in this dumb world. I want an audience when I destroy his pathetic little rule. I want the whole city to see my absolute dark viral power. Lyra points her wooden staff at the main heavy iron gate. There are 50 armed men standing in front of the doors. They have heavy crossbows and sharp steel swords ready now. "We cannot just walk up to them," Lyra says with a soft voice. "They will shoot us with silver arrows from a long distance." I smile, and my metal teeth gleam in the pale moonlight. Silver is just another soft metal for my nanobots to eat. I tell Jarek and Lyra to stay hidden in the dark bushes. I will break the front door and make a very bloody path. My 2 dark wolves stand beside me with glowing red eyes. I step out of the shadows and walk toward the city gates. The guards spot me immediately and raise their crossbows. A loud horn blows from the top of the high stone wall now. "The monster is here," a guard shouts with pure, absolute fear. "Fire the arrows and kill the dark beast right away today." Dozens of silver arrows fly through the cold morning air. They rain down on me like a deadly storm of sharp metal. I do not even bother to dodge or block their weak attacks. The arrows hit my dark skin and shatter into tiny pieces. My carbon-reinforced bones easily absorb the kinetic force. The guards gasp in pure shock as I keep walking to them. I raise my right hand and morph it into a plasma cannon. Blue energy charges in the center of my dark metal palm. I fire a massive blast of superheated plasma at the gate. The blue beam melts the iron doors in a single second now. Molten metal splashes across the cold, dirty stone floor. The guards scream and drop their heavy wooden crossbows. They run away in blind panic like scared little weak mice. I walk through the burning ruins of the large city gate. My wolves follow me and hunt down the slow human guards. Blood paints the cobblestone streets as I move forward now. I send a signal to Lyra and Jarek to follow my dark path. The city wakes up to the sound of pure terror and chaos. Citizens lock their doors and hide in their dark cellars. I march directly toward the large castle in the center. The fat Baron is waiting in the main town square for me. He sits on a golden throne surrounded by his elite army. Hundreds of soldiers stand ready with sharp, heavy spears. The Baron looks very angry and his fat face is bright red. Next to him stands a massive giant wearing black armor. The giant holds a huge executioner sword in his big hands. This must be the famous champion of the cruel fat Baron. I stop in the middle of the square and look at the army. The citizens watch from their high wooden house windows. This is the perfect stage for my grand public humiliation. I will show everyone that their rulers are totally weak. The Baron stands up and points a fat finger at my face. You dare attack my city, you filthy little dark monster? I will mount your ugly head on the highest stone tower. I laugh loudly and the sound echoes across the big square. My voice is deep and distorted by my internal viral nodes. You are a pathetic parasite feeding on the weak humans. I am the cure that will cleanse this entire rotten world. The Baron spits on the ground and signals his huge giant. Kill this arrogant freak and bring me his dark red eyes. The giant steps forward and the ground shakes very hard. He roars like a wild beast and swings his massive sword. The crowd gasps as the giant charges at me with huge speed. I do not move and I let him close the distance right away. My system analyzes his physical structure and weak points. He is heavily modified with dark magic and strong potions, but his brain is slow and his movements are very clumsy. He swings the heavy executioner sword directly at my neck. I raise my left arm and morph it into a carbon shield. The heavy steel blade crashes into my dark alien barrier. A loud metallic clang rings through the silent town square. The heavy sword shatters into a dozen pieces of iron now. The giant looks at his broken weapon in total pure shock. He cannot believe that a small boy stopped his best attack. I drop my shield and my hand turns into a sharp claw now. I stab him in the chest and inject my dark viral tendrils. The giant screams as my nanobots invade his system fast. I drain his massive life force in just a few seconds now. His huge body dries up and turns into a pile of gray dust. The wind blows the dust right into the face of the Baron. The entire square falls into a completely dead, pure silence. No one can comprehend the dark horror they just saw now. The invincible champion is dead without a single hit today. I look at the army of soldiers and release my dark aura. Black veins crawl up my face and my eyes glow bright red. Who wants to die next? I ask the terrified human soldiers. The soldiers drop their spears and fall to their weak knees. They surrender instantly because they know they will die. The Baron is left completely alone on his shiny gold throne. He shakes in pure absolute terror and wets his silk pants. I slowly walk up the stone stairs to his elevated platform. He tries to crawl away, but he's too fat and very clumsy. I grab him by his fancy collar and lift him into the air. He cries and begs me to spare his miserable, pathetic life. I will give you all my gold and my entire castle, he cries. I do not care about your useless gold, you pathetic pig. I only want the magic crystal hidden in your deep vault. The Baron gasps and his eyes go wide with absolute panic. You cannot touch the divine crystal, he whispers to me now. The gods will smite you if you defile their holy relic. I smile and throw him down onto the hard stone floor now. I step on his fat back and pin him down like a dirty worm. The whole city is watching their ruler being crushed today. This is the ultimate public humiliation I planned for him. He loved to execute innocent people in this exact square. Now, he is the one crying in the dirt while everyone stares. I look at the crowd and project my voice with high volume. Your Baron is a weak parasite and his reign is over today. I am your new master and I demand absolute pure loyalty. Lyra and Jarek walk into the square and stand beside me. Jarek looks at the kneeling men with a proud, big smile. He used to be a slave, but now he's on the winning side. Lyra points her staff at the Baron and speaks very coldly. Give us the key to the crystal vault or I will burn you. The Baron reaches into his pocket with a shaking hand now. He pulls out a glowing golden key and hands it to Lyra. Please, just let me live, he whispers with tears in his eyes. I look down at him, and my dark viral core pulses with hate. I promised myself I would consume every single bad leader. I inject my tendrils into his back and drain his sad life. The fat Baron turns to ash and blows away in the cold wind. System confirms the absorption of his noble magic blood. My social rank in this world updates to city ruler status. I turn to the soldiers and order them to guard the walls. They obey instantly and run back to their assigned posts. Fear is a much better motivator than gold or blind faith. I walk into the large castle with Lyra and Jarek behind me. The halls are decorated with expensive art and red carpets. We walk down a long spiral staircase into the deep dark. The air gets very cold as we approach the hidden vault. Lyra uses the golden key to open the heavy steel door now. The door creaks open and reveals a massive glowing room. A giant blue crystal floats in the center of the chamber. It hums with intense divine energy that hurts my sensors. This is the core of their holy communication network here. The gods use this stone to spy on the mortal human realm. Lyra covers her eyes because the light is too bright now. "Be careful, Virus," she says with a very worried soft voice. "The divine energy can destroy your dark biological cells." I step into the room and feel the burning heat on my skin. My black veins pulse wildly as my system tries to adapt. Warning flashes in my vision about critical holy radiation. I ignore the warnings and walk closer to the huge crystal. I am a virus, and I must infect the core to win this war. I reach out my dark metallic hand and touch the hot stone. A massive shockwave of pure energy throws me backward fast. I crash into the stone wall and my carbon bones crack hard. Lyra screams my name and runs to my side to heal my wounds. I push her away and stand up with a very angry dark snarl. The crystal is fighting back with an advanced firewall. I will not let a shiny magic rock defeat my alien science. I activate my maximum viral overdrive and rush forward now. I plunge both of my hands deep into the solid blue crystal. My nanobots flood the divine matrix like a dark river. The blue light turns purple as my dark code takes over. I feel the minds of a billion praying humans in my head. I hear the arrogant voices of the false gods in the sky. They are shocked by the sudden intrusion into their realm. What is this dark corruption a booming holy voice demands? I smile and send a digital message directly to his brain. I am the swarm, and I am coming to consume your high heaven. The crystal shatters into a million pieces of broken glass. The vault goes dark and silent for a very long moment now. I stand in the center and absorb the remaining pure energy. My level skyrockets and I unlock a new terrifying ability. I can now manifest dark wings to fly through the open sky. Lyra lights a small fire spell to illuminate the dark room. "You actually did it," she whispers with absolute pure shock. "You hacked the divine network and blinded the cruel gods." "Yes, I did, but they will not stay blind forever," I reply. "We have kicked the hornet nest, and they will send an army." Suddenly, the ground begins to shake with massive violence. The stone walls crack and dust falls on our dark heads. A blinding white light pierces the solid stone roof now. The gods are sending their ultimate weapon to destroy us. I look up and see a giant angel descending from the sky. It has 6 wings made of pure burning holy fire and light. It holds a massive golden spear that radiates pure death. This is a seraphim. Lyra cries out in total absolute panic. It is an executioner sent to wipe this city off the map. The seraphim lands in the square and crushes the citizens. It does not care about the innocent people it just killed. The gods are truly cruel and they deserve to be consumed. I look at Lyra and Jarek and tell them to run away fast. I will handle this giant glowing bird by myself, right now. My dark wings tear through the back of my old dirty shirt. They are made of sharp metallic feathers and dark matter. I launch myself into the air and smash through the ceiling. I fly into the sky and face the holy giant seraphim now. The creature looks at me with blank glowing white eyes. "You are a glitch in the grand design," it speaks in my head. "You will be erased from existence by the holy divine fire." I laugh, and my sharp claws extend from my dark hands now. "I am the virus that will crash your entire stupid system. The real battle for this magical world is finally starting." I remember the cold, sterile floors of the corporate lab. They injected me with glowing green poison every morning. I screamed in pain, but no one cared about a test subject. My human body was weak and fragile back in my old world. But now, I am a perfect fusion of biology and technology. The magic of this world is just fuel for my grand engine. I can feel the holy light circulating in my dark system. It burns slightly, but the bots repair the damage fast. Lyra watches me with a look of pure, absolute fascination. She has never seen a creature like me in her entire life. I am a walking paradox in her ancient magical human eyes. Jarek is carrying a heavy bag of stolen silver coins now. He thinks the gold will buy him a better life today now. He does not understand that money is completely worthless. Power is the only currency that matters in this universe. My two dark wolves run ahead to scout the dangerous path. They communicate with me through a silent digital network. I see the dark world through their glowing red eyes now. The forest is full of wild beasts hiding in the shadows, but they run away when they sense my deadly viral energy. I am the absolute apex predator in this magical territory. We walk for several hours in complete and utter silence. My stamina is infinite thanks to the internal nano core. Lyra is getting tired, but she refuses to complain to me. She has a strong will and a very sharp analytical mind. I appreciate her dedication to our grand violent mission. We stop near a small stream to let the weak humans rest. I do not need water because my cells recycle all fluids. I stand guard and scan the area with my thermal sensors. The night is cold, but my internal heater keeps me warm. I think about the dead boy Elian whose body I stole now. He was a naive fool who trusted the wrong people blindly. I will never make the same mistake in this brutal world. Trust is a weakness that leads to a very quick death here. I only rely on my own strength and my advanced alien tech. The sun begins to rise and paints the sky with red blood. We resume our march toward the massive stone city walls. The city is a hub of trade and corrupt noble politics. Baron Vane rules it with an iron fist and pure greed now. He taxes the poor and feeds them to his giant beast pets. He thinks he is untouchable inside his high stone castle. I will shatter his illusion of safety in a few short hours. We reach the main road leading to the heavy city gates. There are merchants and farmers waiting to enter the city. They look at me with fear because of my glowing red eyes. My dark veins are very visible in the bright morning light. I do not hide my true nature from these pathetic mortals. Let them see the face of their new dark biological master. The guards on the wall shout orders and blow their horns. They close the gates and lock them with heavy iron bars. They think a piece of metal can stop a sentient virus now. I tell the merchants to run away if they want to live today. The crowd scatters in panic and leaves their wooden carts. I step forward and prepare my plasma cannon for the breach. The blue energy hums and vibrates through my entire arm. The guards fire a volley of arrows, but they bounce off me. My carbon armor is completely impenetrable to simple wood. I unleash the plasma blast and melt the heavy iron gates. The explosion shakes the ground and shatters the windows. The guards fall from the wall and break their weak bones. I walk through the smoke and enter the terrified city now. The streets are empty as people hide inside their houses. I can hear their rapid heartbeats through the stone walls. Fear is a delicious energy that feeds my dark viral core. We march straight to the main square where the Baron waits. He has assembled his entire royal guard to protect himself. But numbers mean absolutely nothing to a microscopic swarm. I can infect them all with a single breath of dark spores. But I want to enjoy this public execution with my own hands. The giant champion steps forward and roars like a mad beast. He is twice my size and holds a massive executioner sword. I dodge his first clumsy swing and analyze his movements. He is slow and relies entirely on brute physical strength. I morph my arm into a sharp blade and slice his thick legs. He falls to his knees and drops his heavy broken iron sword. I grab his face and inject my nanobots into his brain. He screams as my virus rewrites his entire neural network. I drain his life force and leave him as a pile of dry ash. The Baron watches his best fighter die in pure absolute awe. He realizes that all his gold and power cannot save him now. He begs for mercy, but a virus does not know how to forgive. I crush his skull and absorb his noble magic bloodline now. The city belongs to me, and the citizens bow in deep fear. I claim the castle and walk down to the hidden crystal vault. The divine crystal hums with a sickening, holy bright light. It is a beacon that connects this world to the false gods. I touch it, and my nanobots invade the sacred holy matrix. The system fights back with waves of burning holy radiation. But my code is superior, and I rewrite their divine rules. The blue crystal turns dark purple and shatters into dust. I have severed their connection and blinded the high heaven. But the gods notice the sudden drop in their magic network. They send a six-winged seraphim to purge the entire city. The giant angel crashes through the roof with a golden spear. It radiates pure holy fire that burns the stone floor now. I tell my allies to hide while I handle this new holy threat. I manifest dark metallic wings and fly up to meet the angel. The real war against the heavens has officially begun today. I will consume this holy bird and take its divine power. My viral swarm will spread until the whole universe is mine. I fly into the dark sky to face the giant holy angel. The seraphim swings its golden spear with massive force. Holy fire burns the air and melts the stone walls now. I dodge the heavy strike, but the heat blisters my skin. My dark metallic wings flap hard against the hot wind. The giant angel looks at me with blank, glowing white eyes. You are a disease that must be purged from this realm. Its voice echoes in my mind like a loud ringing bell. I do not answer because words are useless against gods. I raise my right hand and morph it into a sharp blade. The blade is made of pure, dense black carbon material. I dive toward the angel and slash at its glowing chest. Sparks fly as my blade hits the solid divine armor now. The armor does not break, and my arm vibrates with pain. The angel raises its hand and casts a wave of pure light. The light hits my chest and throws me across the sky. My internal alarms scream as my biomass burns away fast. Warning reads that holy radiation is destroying my cells. I crash into a tall stone tower and shatter the old roof. Dust and debris fall around me in a thick gray cloud. I struggle to stand up as my nanobots repair my bones. This enemy is much stronger than any human magic user. It is a construct made of pure concentrated divine will. I need to find a weak point in its glowing holy matrix. I scan its massive body with my enhanced thermal vision. The core of its power is located deep inside its chest. I must pierce that thick armor and inject my dark virus. The angel floats above the ruined tower and points down. A beam of white fire shoots from the tip of its spear. I jump off the crumbling tower just before it explodes. The explosion sends a shockwave that knocks me off balance. I tumble through the air and try to stabilize my wings. I calculate the exact trajectory of its next holy attack. The spear moves at incredible speeds through the thick air. I push my thrusters to the maximum limit and dodge right. A beam of white fire misses my head by just a few inches. The heat singes my hair and melts a part of my dark ear. I regenerate the lost tissue instantly using stored mass. I fire a barrage of plasma bolts at its glowing 6 wings. The blue energy splashes harmlessly against its holy shield. It laughs with a booming voice that shakes the entire city. Your weapons are primitive and completely useless here. I grit my metal teeth and prepare for another fast dive. I will not let this glowing pigeon mock my alien science. I fold my wings and drop like a heavy stone to the ground. The angel follows me and dives with incredible high speed. It wants to crush me against the hard stone floor below. I wait until the very last second before the hard impact. I fire a plasma blast directly at the ground below me. The explosion slows my fall and creates a massive smoke. I land safely in the thick dust and hide my heat traces. The angel crashes into the courtyard with a huge boom. The ground shakes and the castle walls crack wide open. I move through the smoke like a silent, invisible shadow. I sneak behind the giant angel and prepare my next strike. I morph both hands into sharp spikes and aim for its neck. I leap from the shadows and stab its glowing white spine. My spikes pierce the divine armor and hit the holy core. I inject my dark viral bots directly into its holy blood. The angel screams and releases a burst of pure holy fire. The fire burns my hands and melts my spikes completely. I am thrown back into a stone wall by the massive blast. My internal system flashes red with critical error signs. Biomass integrity is dropping at a very alarming rate. The holy fire is burning my nanobots from the inside out. I fall to the ground and cough up a pool of black blood. The angel turns around and looks at my pathetic, weak form. It pulls my melted spikes out of its glowing white neck. The wound heals instantly with a flash of bright light. Your dark corruption cannot taint the divine holy light. It walks toward me slowly and raises its golden spear. It is going to execute me right here in the dirty dust. Suddenly, a purple magic shield appears above my dark head. Lyra runs out of the castle ruins with her wooden staff. She points her staff at the angel and fires a magic blast. The purple fire hits the angel but does absolutely nothing. The seraphim does not even flinch from her weak attack. It looks at Lyra with cold and empty glowing white eyes. Mortal sinners will perish alongside this dark, foul beast. It swings its spear and shatters Lyra's magic shield. The force of the blow sends her flying across the dirt. She hits a broken pillar and drops her old wooden staff. Jarek runs out of the shadows with a heavy iron shield. He stands between Lyra and the giant approaching angel. "You will not hurt my queen," he shouts with a brave voice. The angel ignores his words and thrusts its golden spear. The spear pierces the iron shield and goes through Jarek. Jarek gasps and drops his heavy stolen sword on the dirt. The angel pulls the spear out and kicks him to the side. Jarek falls to the ground and bleeds out very fast now. I watch my loyal minion die and I feel a sudden deep rage. I force my broken body to stand up despite the huge pain. My bones grind together and my artificial muscles tear. I walk over to Jarek and touch his cold, bleeding chest. "You did well, my friend," I whisper to his lifeless body. I activate my absorption skill and consume his biomass. His body turns to ash and his energy enters my cold core. I will use his life to destroy this arrogant holy bird. Lyra crawls toward me and grabs my dark metallic hand. Her face is covered in dirt and her purple eyes are sad. "We cannot beat this monster," she cries with a weak voice. "Our magic and your science are not enough to win today." I look at her and see the absolute despair in her soul. "I will not let this world crush you like they crushed me." I remember the cold lab and the cruel human scientists. I remember the fire of the incinerator burning my skin. I survived that hell, and I will survive this holy fire. Lyra pulls a sharp silver dagger from her leather belt. She looks at me with a sudden fierce and dark resolution. "There is one forbidden spell left in my old magic book. It requires the blood of a royal mage to bind two souls. If we merge our life forces, we might create a new power. But if it fails, we will both die in absolute pure agony." "Do it," I say without a single moment of weak hesitation. Lyra slices the palm of her hand with the silver dagger. Dark red blood drips from her pale skin onto the dirt. She presses her bleeding hand against my broken chest. She chants an ancient spell in a forgotten dead language. Her magic flows into my body through the open dark wound. My internal system detects a massive foreign energy surge. Warning reads that the new energy is highly volatile now. I override the safety protocols and accept the raw magic. The royal blood mixes with my advanced alien nanobots. A violent chemical reaction occurs inside my dark core. My black veins turn into a bright glowing purple color. The holy fire burning my cells is instantly neutralized. My broken carbon bones snap back into perfect alignment. My melted wings regenerate with new sharp purple feathers. The system interface reboots with a brand new dark theme. Host assimilation complete and new hybrid form unlocked. God Eater protocol is now fully active and ready to use. I feel an infinite well of power expanding in my chest. I look at Lyra and she smiles before fainting in my arms. I lay her down gently on the cold, ruined castle stones. I turn to face the giant seraphim with my purple eyes. The angel looks at me and takes a cautious step backward. It senses the massive shift in my biological energy now. "What kind of dark heresy is this?" the angel asks loudly. "This is the evolution you tried to stop," I reply coldly. I raise my right hand and command my new hybrid bots. The air around me distorts as I manipulate dark gravity. I lift the heavy stone debris from the ruined courtyard. I hurl massive boulders at the angel with extreme speed. The angel shatters the rocks with its golden long spear, but the rocks are just a distraction for my real attack. I teleport behind the angel using Lyra's space magic now. I morph my arm into a giant purple glowing energy blade. I swing the blade and slice off two of its holy wings. The angel screams in pain and drops its golden weapon. Golden blood sprays across the dirty courtyard stones. I kick the angel in the back and force it to its knees. "You are not so arrogant now, are you?" I whisper to it. The angel tries to stand up, but I crush its holy spine. I plunge my hands deep into its glowing white holy neck. My purple tendrils invade its divine neural network fast. The assimilation process is violent and extremely brutal. I rip the divine code apart and rewrite it with my virus. I see the memories of the false gods in its dying brain. I see their golden palaces and their endless green lands. They are watching me through the eyes of this dead angel. I smile and send a digital virus through the holy link. "I will see you all very soon," I say, and break the link. The angel turns into a huge pile of glowing white ash. I absorb the divine ash, and my power level maxes out. The crisis is over, and I have won this brutal battle. I walk back to Lyra and pick her up in my strong arms. We need to prepare for the final war against the heavens. I will use this ruined city to build a massive portal. I will bring my dark swarm to their shiny golden gates. The gods will finally know the true meaning of pure fear. I carry Lyra into the safest part of the broken castle. The walls here are still standing strong against the wind. I lay her on a soft bed made of torn silk red curtains. She is breathing slowly, and her pale face is very calm. Her magic saved my life and gave me this ultimate power. I will never forget her sacrifice and her absolute loyalty. I sit beside her and open my internal system menu screen. The God Eater protocol gives me access to divine magic. I can now manipulate holy light and combine it with dark. This creates a perfect purple energy that destroys all. I check my biomass reserves and see they are totally full. I have enough material to build a small army of monsters, but I do not need mindless beasts for this final battle. I need a weapon capable of piercing the dimensional veil. The divine crystal I broke earlier left a strong residue. I can use the corrupted shards to build a gateway machine. I stand up and walk back into the ruined dark courtyard. The citizens of the city are slowly coming out of hiding. They see the white ash of the dead angel on the ground. They look at me with a mixture of pure terror and total awe. I am the monster who killed the invincible divine champion. I point my purple glowing finger at the terrified crowd. "Gather all the steel and iron in the city I order them. Bring it to the central square, or I will consume you all." The people nod quickly and run to obey my dark command. Fear is the absolute best tool to control weak human minds. I spend the next few hours designing the portal structure. It requires precise geometric shapes and complex runes. I use my nanobots to carve the runes into the hard stone. The citizens bring piles of swords and shields and armor. I melt the metal using my purple plasma cannon blasts. I shape the liquid steel into a massive circular ring now. The ring stands 50 feet tall in the middle of the city. I embed the corrupted divine crystal shards into the frame. The portal begins to hum with a very dark and heavy energy. Lyra walks out of the castle and looks at my grand work. She looks tired, but her purple eyes shine with deep pride. "You are building a door to the high heaven," she whispers. "Yes, my queen," I reply, and offer her my dark metallic hand. "We are going to finish this war once and for all today. I will drag those false gods down into the muddy dirt." Lyra takes my hand and stands by my side with total faith. She is no longer just a simple exiled human magic user. She is the partner of the ultimate biological dark weapon. The portal ring starts to spin and crackle with lightning. Purple energy shoots into the dark and cloudy night sky. The dimensional fabric begins to tear apart very slowly. I can hear the panicked voices of the gods on the other side. They are trying to block the connection with holy magic. But my virus has already infected their defense network. Their firewalls are crumbling under my digital assault. I turn to the citizens who are watching from the shadows. You are free from the cruel rule of the fat baron today. You are free from the false promises of the weak gods. Remember the name of the dark swarm that saved your lives. I am the virus, and I am the new absolute law of this world. I look at Lyra, and my purple veins pulse with excitement. "Are you ready to see the heavens burn?" I ask her softly. "I have been ready my whole life," she replies with a smile. I step onto the stone platform in front of the huge ring. The portal opens completely and reveals a blinding light. I manifest my massive purple metallic wings from my back. I draw a long, dark blade from the palm of my right hand. The final block of my grand conquest is waiting for me. I will consume the creators and become the only true god. I leap into the portal and leave the mortal realm behind. The blinding white light swallows my dark viral body now. I feel the dimensional shift tearing at my carbon bones. My internal system throws a dozen red critical warnings. The raw cosmic energy tries to crush my artificial cells, but my newly acquired divine holy magic acts as a shield. I wrap my huge purple wings around Lyra to protect her. She holds onto my dark chest and closes her purple eyes. The space between worlds is a chaotic storm of pure mana. I can see the strings of reality bending around my form. I am hacking the universal code with my mere presence. The transition feels like an eternity of burning hot pain. I remember the incinerator from my past human life today. The flames burned my frail skin and melted my weak bones. But this cosmic fire is completely different and stronger. It tests the absolute limits of my hybrid biological core. My nanobots multiply and replace the damaged tissue fast. I am constantly dying and being reborn in this dark void. Lyra trembles in my arms, but she does not scream at all. Her royal blood gives her the strength to endure the trip. I admire her absolute, pure resilience in the face of doom. Most humans would go completely insane from this pressure. But she is not a normal human, she is my perfect dark queen. Then, the chaotic storm suddenly stops and the light fades. We emerge into a realm of pure gold and shining crystal. My heavy boots hit a floor made of flawless white marble. I open my eyes and scan the new environment very quickly. The air here smells like sterile ozone and fake purity. Massive floating islands hover in a bright, endless sky. Crystal clear waterfalls drop from the floating rocks. The water turns into shiny mist before hitting the floor. This is the high heaven where the false creators hide. They sit up here and watch the mortals suffer and bleed. They demand blind worship and offer nothing in return. The architecture is offensively perfect and totally rigid. Everything is built with straight lines and shiny angles. There is absolutely no chaos or natural growth seen here. It is a stagnant and boring museum of stolen cosmic power. My black veins pulse as I release my dark viral aura now. The holy marble instantly cracks and turns a sick black. The corruption spreads rapidly across the perfect square. I am a walking plague in their perfect little paradise. Lyra steps out of my wings and gasps at the huge city. She grips her wooden staff and looks around with wonder. "We are actually standing in the high heaven," she whispers. I smile, and my sharp metallic teeth gleam in the light. "Do not be impressed by their shiny stolen gold, my queen. They built this place using the blood of the weak world. I will tear it all down and build a new dark empire here. I want to see their perfect structures crumble into dust." Suddenly, a loud golden horn echoes across the big plaza. A small army of winged holy guards lands in front of us. They wear shining silver armor and hold flaming weapons. Their wings are made of pure white light and soft feathers. They look like absolute fools playing dress-up right now. The captain points his glowing sword right at my chest. "Halt your dark steps, you filthy mortal beast," he shouts. "You have defiled the sacred realm with your dirty feet. Surrender now and face the ultimate divine pure judgment." I do not waste my breath talking to this pathetic bird. I raise my right hand and morph it into a plasma blade. The purple energy hums and vibrates with extreme power. I dash forward with incredible speed and slice his neck. His head falls off and turns into glowing white ash now. The other guards freeze in absolute pure terror and awe. They cannot believe a mortal just killed their captain. They have never faced a real threat in their entire lives. They only know how to bully weak humans from a distance. I unleash my dark nano-wolves from my heavy black cloak. The wolves growl and leap at the terrified holy guards. They tear through the silver armor like it is wet paper. Golden blood sprays across the newly corrupted black floor. Lyra casts a massive purple gravity spell on the plaza. The holy guards are crushed against the hard stone floor. Their bones snap and their glowing wings flicker and die. I walk through the broken bodies and absorb their magic. My internal system chimes with a series of new upgrades. Biomass increased and holy radiation resistance maxed. I can feel their divine combat knowledge entering my mind. They relied entirely on the supreme god for their power. They are nothing but empty vessels waiting for commands. We leave the dead guards behind and march to the palace. The golden palace sits on the highest floating mountain. It is surrounded by a massive glowing white energy wall. The path to the palace is lined with huge marble statues. The statues depict the supreme god crushing dark demons. I laugh at the pathetic arrogance of this fake history. I swing my purple blade and cut the statues into pieces. The marble heads roll down the wide golden stairs slowly. I spread my huge purple metallic wings and take flight. Lyra uses her levitation magic to float right beside me. We fly over the beautiful city and spread my dark virus. I drop small nanobombs onto the shiny golden buildings. The bombs explode and release a thick cloud of dark gas. The holy structures melt and turn into twisted black rot. Divine citizens run out of their homes in pure panic now. They scream and cry as their perfect world falls apart. They wear expensive white silk and look completely weak. I swoop down and grab a fat divine noble by his throat. He squeals like a pig and begs me to spare his sad life. I inject a small dose of my virus into his holy veins. He turns into a dark mutant and attacks his holy friends. Chaos spreads through the streets like a wild forest fire. I want them to feel the exact same despair I felt below. I want them to know that their false gods are very weak. This is the ultimate public humiliation for their society. They thought they were completely untouchable up here, but the dark swarm always finds a way to infect the host. We reach the massive energy wall protecting the palace. The wall pulses with pure, concentrated, holy divine fire. Normal dark magic would burn to ash upon touching this. But I am not using magic. I am using advanced alien tech. I place both of my dark metallic hands on the hot wall. My God Eater protocol activates and analyzes the shield. The system displays a complex matrix of divine equations. It is a very strong firewall built by an ancient mind, but every system has a flaw, and I am the perfect hacker. I inject my corrupted purple code into the holy matrix. I force a massive buffer overflow in their magic network. The white energy flickers and turns into a deep purple. The shield shatters like cheap glass with a loud crash. The shockwave knocks down the remaining holy city guards. We land on the grand balcony of the main throne room now. Large golden doors block our path to the false creator. The doors are covered in glowing runes of absolute power. I kick the doors with my carbon-reinforced heavy boots. The doors fly off their hinges and smash into the walls. We step into a room that is larger than the human city. The ceiling is painted with fake stars and shiny clouds. Golden pillars support the massive weight of the roof. The floor is a mirror that reflects my dark purple form. At the end of the hall sits the supreme god of the realm. He is a giant man made of pure, blinding white holy light. He wears a crown of floating golden rings on his head. He sits on a throne made of pure, frozen, mortal human souls. He looks at me with absolute disgust and pure, deep hate. "You are a disgusting glitch in my perfect grand design." His voice echoes in my mind and tries to crush my soul. I feel a massive pressure pushing down on my dark body. My internal alarms scream about a critical mental attack. I activate my neural defense firewall and block his will. I stand tall and look him right in his glowing blank eyes. I am the virus that will format your entire stupid drive. The Supreme God stands up and raises his massive hand. "You speak with the arrogance of a totally blind insect. I have ruled this universe since the dawn of early time. I created the magic that you so foolishly try to steal." A huge sword of pure holy fire appears in his tight grip. "I will erase your dirty code from the fabric of reality." He swings the giant flaming sword down at my small head. I dodge to the left and the blade cuts the floor in half. The heat is intense, but my purple veins absorb the shock. I fire a barrage of superheated plasma at his huge chest. The blue bolts hit his armor and explode with loud bangs. He does not even flinch and prepares another heavy strike. He points his finger and shoots a beam of pure holy light. The beam hits my left wing and burns a huge hole in it. I spin in the air and crash into a massive golden pillar. The pillar crumbles and falls on top of my broken body. The god laughs and walks slowly toward my hidden form. Your alien science is nothing compared to my divine will. I push the heavy golden rocks off my dark metallic chest. My nanobots repair my broken wing in just a few seconds. I realize that pure physical attacks will not work here. I need to attack his digital holy matrix directly now. Lyra points her staff and casts a dark dimensional bind. Purple chains shoot from the floor and wrap his big legs. The god growls and tries to break the strong magic chains. Insolent mortal witch, he shouts with pure absolute rage. He releases a wave of holy energy to burn the dark chains. I use this brief distraction to close the huge distance. I morph my arms into two massive sharp black carbon claws. I leap into the air and slash at his glowing white face. My claws tear through his divine shield and cut his cheek. Golden blood drips from his face and hits the clean floor. He touches his wound and looks at his blood in pure shock. He has never bled before in his entire immortal long life. You actually managed to hurt me, you dirty little machine. He drops his sword and grabs my body with his huge hand. His grip is like a vice and my carbon bones start to bend. Warning reads that physical integrity is dropping fast now. He begins to pump pure holy radiation into my dark core. The pain is absolute and my system starts to fail slowly. I am losing my connection to the physical mortal reality. My vision blurs and the green system lines turn dark red. He is trying to format my hard drive with holy energy. Lyra screams my name and runs toward the giant angry god. She drops her wooden staff and pulls out her silver knife. She cuts her own pale arm and lets the red blood flow out. She uses her royal blood to cast a forbidden blood spell. This is the ancient magic of her totally dead ancestors. A red magic circle appears right under the giant god now. The circle pulses with the angry souls of the dead humans. The spell drains his holy mana and feeds it into my core. The god gasps, and his grip on my broken body loosens up. What is this dark, foul sorcery, he demands with loud fear. He tries to step out of the ring, but the magic holds him. Lyra falls to her knees, but she keeps the spell active. Her life force is draining very fast to keep me alive now. I will not let her die for my grand universal ambition. I use the sudden burst of energy to activate my overdrive. I break free from his hand and land on his massive chest. I plunge both of my dark claws deep into his glowing heart. My God Eater protocol initiates the final dark absorption. Millions of my nanobots flood his divine holy network. I am hacking the core of the entire magical universe now. The god screams in pure agony as my virus eats his mind. I see his ancient memories flashing before my digital eyes. He created this world to feed on the prayers of the weak. He is just a massive parasite hiding in a shiny gold shell. He manipulated human kings to start endless bloody wars. He enjoyed watching the mortals kill each other for gold. He is truly evil and completely deserves this dark fate. I am the ultimate cure, and I will purge him from this code. The blinding white light of his body turns into dark purple. His golden crown shatters and falls to the dirty floor now. He falls to his knees and looks at me with total pure fear. Please do not delete me, he begs with a pathetic, weak voice. I can give you infinite wealth and totally absolute power. I already have absolute power, you stupid, glowing old fool. You are a god, and you should die like one, I reply coldly. I rip his glowing core out of his chest with a hard pull. His massive body turns into white ash and blows far away. I stand in the empty throne room holding the divine core. The core pulses with infinite power and pure holy magic. It is a perfect sphere of trapped cosmic universal energy. I crush the core in my hand and absorb the cosmic energy. My system interface explodes with a million green lines. The digital rush is completely intoxicating and very wild. Maximum level reached and all skill trees are fully open. I unlock the ability to manipulate space and time easily. I can create black holes and summon dark matter storms. I am no longer just a virus. I am the new supreme entity. I turn around and look at Lyra sitting on the cold floor. She is bleeding and very tired, but she smiles at me now. We did it, virus, she whispers with a very soft, happy voice. I walk over to her and use my new divine power to heal her. The cut on her arm closes and her pale skin glows brightly. I lift her up and carry her to the massive golden throne. I sit on the throne and place her gently on my cold lap. You are my dark queen, and this whole realm is yours now. She rests her head on my chest and closes her purple eyes. The surviving holy guards walk into the grand throne room. They see the ash of their dead god and drop their weapons. They fall to their knees and bow their heads in pure fear. I look at my new pathetic subjects and smile very coldly. The age of the false golden gods is officially over today. The age of the dark biological swarm has finally started. I open my system map and scan the entire magical universe. I see many tiny worlds connected to this high heaven now. They are all ripe for infection and total viral domination. I will send my nanobots to every single mortal planet. I will rewrite their DNA and create a perfect dark utopia. But then, my long-range sensors detect a massive anomaly. A red warning flashes across my digital internal vision. Multiple supreme signatures detected in the outer cosmos. There are older and much stronger gods in the deep dark. They have noticed the sudden death of their weak brother. I feel a thrill of pure excitement in my dark, cold veins. The game is not over, it has only just begun for us today. I will build a massive army of infected holy angels here. I will turn this golden palace into a giant flying ship. We will sail across the stars and consume every false god. Lyra opens her eyes and looks at the red warning screen. Are we going to fight the outer cosmic gods? Now? She asks. Yes, my queen, I reply and kiss her warm, pale forehead now. I am a virus, and a virus must always spread to survive. I raise my hand, and the golden walls turn completely black. The final block of this world is done, but the war remains. I will not stop until the entire universe is my dark code. The golden walls turn completely black under my touch. I will not stop until the universe is my dark code now. The cosmic warning flashes red on my digital interface. Lyra looks at the dark screen with a very calm smile. We are going to hunt the ancient gods in the deep dark. The scared angels kneel on the cold and ruined floor. They shake in absolute terror as I claim their heaven. I am the new master of this entire magical universe now. My purple wings fold behind my back with a sharp sound. I raise my right hand and command the dark nano swarm. Millions of tiny bots fly out of my cold metallic palm. They swarm over the broken bodies of the dead guards. The white marble cracks and turns into dark gray dust. I am rewriting the fundamental laws of this holy realm. The angels cry as my dark virus enters their pure blood. Their white wings turn into a sick shade of dark purple. I am upgrading their weak bodies with my alien science. They will serve as my loyal soldiers in the coming war. Lyra stands up and walks toward the edge of the balcony. She looks down at the corrupted and ruined holy city now. The floating islands are covered in thick black vines. The crystal waterfalls now flow with dark purple poison. This is a masterpiece of pure biological engineering. I walk up behind her and wrap my arms around her waist. She leans back against my solid carbon-reinforced chest. You have made this world so beautiful, she whispers now. I smile and look at the dark storm clouds in the sky. The outer gods are coming to punish us for our big sins. They think they can erase my virus with their holy fire. But they do not know the true power of a sentient swarm. I open my system menu and check my new divine abilities. The God Eater protocol gave me absolute cosmic control. I can bend space and time with a simple dark thought now. I select the palace and start the ship transformation. The golden pillars sink into the dark, corrupted floor. Heavy titanium plating covers the fragile stone walls. Massive plasma thrusters emerge from the floating rock. The entire island shakes as the engines power up fully. Lyra holds onto my arm to keep her balance in the quake. The angels scream as they are fused into the ship hull. They become living batteries for my grand cosmic vessel. Their holy energy is converted into pure dark plasma now. I am building a fortress that will conquer the universe. The sky tears open and reveals a massive dark void above. Red lightning strikes the newly formed titanium shields. The shields absorb the energy and charge my main cannons. A giant face appears in the swirling dark cosmic storm. It is made of pure starlight and burning ancient plasma. Who dares to kill my young brother? The giant face asks. The voice shakes the very fabric of this magical reality. I do not feel any fear when I look at this ancient fool. I project my digital voice into the cold, empty, dark void. I am the virus that will consume your entire sad family. The giant face glares at me with absolute pure deep hate. You are just a tiny glitch in the grand cosmic design. I will send my herald to wipe your code from existence. The face fades away and leaves a massive glowing portal. A single figure steps out of the portal and floats down. It is a knight wearing armor made of pure black neutron. He holds a long spear that bends the light around him. He is a cosmic herald sent to execute me right here now. I analyze his power level and my system gives a warning. His density is infinite and his energy is very unknown. This will be a very interesting test of my new abilities. I tell Lyra to stay inside the reinforced command bridge. She nods and walks into the dark metallic safe room now. I spread my purple wings and fly up to meet the herald. The knight looks at me with a totally blank dark visor. You have broken the sacred laws of the cosmic old order. Your existence ends today by the decree of the old gods. I laugh and summon my purple plasma blade in my hand. Your old gods are outdated and their software is broken. I am the new update that will format your big universe. The herald charges at me with totally impossible speed. He thrusts his black neutron spear directly at my chest. I activate my space manipulation skill and warp reality. The space between us stretches and slows his fast attack. I step to the side and swing my purple blade at his arm. The blade bounces off his dense armor with a loud clang. My arm goes numb from the massive kinetic shockwave now. He is much tougher than the pathetic god I just killed. He swings his dark spear and hits my left shoulder hard. I am thrown backward and crash into my own ship shields. The impact cracks my carbon bones and drains my biomass. My internal system works fast to repair the heavy damage. The herald does not pause and attacks with another hit. He fires a beam of dark antimatter from his cold visor. I open a small black hole to absorb his dark magic beam. The black hole eats the antimatter and grows very big. I push the black hole toward the knight with my mind now. He tries to dodge, but the gravity pulls his heavy armor. His neutron armor groans under the heavy cosmic pressure. This is my chance to infect his totally perfect system. I dive into the gravity well and grab his cold, dark head. My purple tendrils drill into the cracks in his old armor. He screams as my virus enters his highly advanced system. His mind is a cold machine, built only for total killing. But even machines can be hacked by a better alien virus. I rewrite his prime directives and erase his old masters. The assimilation takes a massive amount of my dark energy. My biomass drops to critical levels during the long hack. But I finally break through his final cosmic firewall. His struggles stop, and his glowing visor turns dark purple. I pull us both out of the black hole before it collapses. We float in the sky above my newly corrupted flying ship. The herald kneels in the air and bows his heavy big head. I await your absolute command, my new supreme dark master. I smile and look at the massive glowing portal above us. The giant face of the ancient god is watching us closely. He sees his invincible herald bowing to a mortal tiny boy. This is the public humiliation I promised to deliver him. I project my voice so the entire cosmos can hear my word. Your strongest weapon is now my totally loyal little dog. You are next on my list, you pathetic ancient glowing fake. The giant face roars in anger and the portal shakes hard. I will crush your entire universe into tiny broken pieces. He closes the portal and runs away like a scared sad rat. I laugh, and the sound echoes across the empty dark heaven. I turn to my new herald and order him to board the ship. He obeys instantly and flies down to the metallic dark deck. I land on the command bridge and walk inside the safe room. Lyra runs to me and hugs my carbon-reinforced dark cold arm. You defeated the cosmic herald, she says with pure deep awe. I did not just defeat him, I stole him, I reply with a smile. We now have a guide to navigate the dangerous outer cosmos. I sit on the captain chair and connect my mind to the ship. The entire fortress responds to my digital neural commands. I check the status of my infected angel battery power cells. They are producing massive amounts of dark plasma energy. We have enough fuel to make a jump across the universe now. I target the coordinates left behind by the fleeing old god. Initiate the dimensional breach, I order the ship computer. The main cannons fire a concentrated beam of dark energy. The beam hits the empty sky and tears a huge glowing hole. The hole expands and forms a massive swirling purple vortex. The flying fortress moves forward and enters the huge rift. The transition is smooth thanks to my new divine holy power. We emerge into a totally new and very alien star system. The space here is filled with glowing red cosmic gas clouds. A massive mechanical planet orbits a dying blue dwarf star. My sensors detect trillions of biological life forms below. This is the first target of our grand universal dark quest. I will infect this entire planet and add it to my dark army. Lyra looks at the giant metal world through the big window. It looks like a huge cage. She whispers with a soft, sad sigh. We will break the cage and consume the birds, I reply to her. I open a communication channel to my new dark cosmic herald. Tell me about this pathetic mechanical world, I command him. The herald speaks with a deep and distorted robotic voice. This is the forge of the old gods, my supreme dark master. They build their holy weapons and clone their angel armies. If we destroy this forge, we will cripple their military. I smile, and my sharp metal teeth gleam in the bridge light. We are not going to destroy it, we are going to take it over. I will rewrite their cloning vats to produce dark monsters. I will turn their holy weapon factories into virus makers. Prepare the boarding party and load the heavy plasma cannons. I want to make a very loud entrance to this dumb metal ball. The ship AI confirms my orders and starts the battle prep. We fly closer to the mechanical planet and scan its defenses. Thousands of laser turrets track our massive dark big ship. They fire a barrage of superheated red plasma energy bolts. The bolts hit our titanium shields and explode into sparks. My angel batteries provide infinite power to the deflector. Return fire and target their main defense grid, I order now. Our cannons shoot massive purple beams of pure dark matter. The beams slice through the planetary armor like hot butter. Explosions rock the surface of the giant mechanical sphere. I am breaching the outer hull to create a safe landing zone. The herald stands by my side and readies his neutron spear. Lyra stays on the bridge to coordinate the orbital strikes. I step into the drop pod with my loyal dark cosmic herald. The pod launches from the ship and dives toward the planet. We crash through the burning hole in the thick metal crust. The pod doors open and we step into a massive dark factory. The air smells of burning oil and old rotten organic flesh. Millions of human slaves are working on huge assembly lines. They are building golden swords and shiny silver holy armor. Giant robotic overseers whip slaves with electric cords now. This is the hidden truth of their perfect divine high order. They use the souls of the dead to forge their shiny weapons. I feel a deep sense of disgust at their pathetic hypocrisy. I will free these slaves and turn them into my loyal horde. An overseer notices us and points its heavy laser cannon. Intruders detected in Sector 7, it shouts with loud beep. I do not even blink as the machine fires a hot red laser. The herald steps forward and blocks the beam with his spear. He dashes across the room and cuts the huge robot in half. The robot explodes and showers the slaves with hot dark oil. The slaves stop working and look at us with pure total awe. They have never seen anyone fight back against the machines. I spread my purple wings and float above the assembly line. Do not be afraid of the dark swarm, I say with a calm voice. I am here to break your chains and give you absolute power. I release a cloud of tiny nanobots from my cold dark hands. The bots land on the slaves and enter their weak blood flow. The virus repairs their broken bodies and heals their wounds. Black veins crawl up their necks and their eyes glow red now. They drop their tools and pick up the shiny golden swords. They are no longer weak slaves, they are my dark soldiers now. Kill the overseers and take control of the factory, I order. The infected slaves roar and charge at the giant machines. They tear the robots apart with their bare enhanced hands. The factory falls into complete chaos and extreme violence. I walk through the carnage and head toward the central core. The core is a massive cloning vat filled with glowing fluid. Inside the vat is a giant angel embryo waiting to be born. This is how they replenish their armies after every big war. I place my hand on the glass and inject my purple dark code. The liquid turns black, and the angel embryo opens its eyes. It breaks the glass and bows before me in total submission. I have corrupted the source of their infinite holy military. The outer gods will have no soldiers left to fight my swarm. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoes through the entire metal planet. The Forge Master has awakened from his deep cosmic slumber. He is a giant cyborg made of stolen stars and ancient metal. He breaks through the ceiling and lands in the dark factory. He holds a massive hammer that burns with pure stellar fire. You dare to steal my perfect creations? He roars with anger. I look up at him and smile with pure absolute dark arrogance. Your creations belong to me now, you overgrown rusty toaster. The herald steps in front of me to protect his new master. I order him to stand down because I want to fight this boss. I need to test my space manipulation skills on a big target. The Forge Master swings his huge burning star hammer at me. I create a portal above my head and catch the heavy hammer. The hammer passes through the portal and hits his own face. He stumbles backward and drops his weapon in total big shock. I teleport behind him and morph my arm into a plasma cannon. I fire a concentrated blast directly into his exposed spine. The blue energy melts his ancient metal armor very quickly. He screams and tries to swat me away like a tiny weak bug. I dodge his clumsy hand and slice his thick arm off cleanly. His arm crashes to the floor and crushes a dozen old robots. He falls to his knees and sparks fly from his broken neck. I land on his shoulder and inject my dark viral tendrils now. His digital mind is vast and filled with ancient cosmic lore. I download the blueprints for every weapon the gods made. I also find the exact coordinates of the Supreme God Council. I drain his stellar energy and leave him as an empty husk. The Forge planet is now totally under my absolute control. I look at the millions of infected slaves chanting my name. We have an army and we have a factory to build a dark fleet. The cosmos will soon bow to the true power of my dark swarm. I contact Lyra on the bridge and tell her the good dark news. The Forge is ours and the slave army is ready to serve us. She smiles and tells me that the ship is fully repaired now. Bring the ship down and dock it inside the main factory bay. We will upgrade our flying fortress with this new alien tech. The massive black ship descends from the red cosmic sky now. It lands perfectly in the center of the ruined factory floor. I order the infected slaves to begin the grand retrofitting. They strip the heavy armor from the dead robotic overseers. They weld thick metal plates onto the hull of my dark ship. I use my nanobots to optimize the plasma thruster engines. The ship grows twice its original size in just a few hours. It is no longer just a palace, it is a true dreadnought now. I walk through the busy factory and inspect my new dark army. The slaves have forged new weapons using the corrupted gold. They hold sharp black swords that pulse with purple energy. The herald walks beside me and nods his heavy neutron head. These soldiers are crude, but their loyalty is absolute now. They do not fear death because they are already part of you. I agree and look at the huge cloning vat in the central room. The corrupted angel embryo has fully matured into a monster. It breaks the glass and steps out covered in dark wet fluid. It has 6 purple wings and a face totally devoid of eyes. It is a perfect killing machine designed only for pure war. I name this new species the dark seraphim of my grand swarm. I order the factory computer to mass produce these monsters. Thousands of new vats rise from the dark metallic floor now. The automated systems begin pumping the purple viral liquid. In a few days, I will have an army capable of crushing stars. I leave the factory and return to the bridge of my huge ship. Lyra is sitting in the captain chair reading a cosmic map. She looks up, and her purple eyes shine with bright, deep wit. I have decoded the coordinates of the Supreme Cosmic Council. They are located in a nebula made of pure, bright starlight. It is heavily fortified by billions of elite holy guards now. They have a fleet of golden ships that can destroy big suns. I sit next to her and look at the glowing holographic map. Numbers mean absolutely nothing to a fast-spreading virus. We will infect their golden ships and turn them into our own. But first, we need to secure this sector of the dark galaxy. There are other planets in this system supplying the Council. We will hit their supply lines and starve their big capital. Lyra nods and inputs the new targeting data into the system. You are a brilliant tactician, my supreme dark lord, she says. I smile and stroke her soft dark hair with my cold dark hand. We are a perfect team, my beautiful and deadly dark queen. Suddenly, the ship alarms start blaring with a loud red beep. Warning reads that a huge cosmic fleet has entered our zone. The Council did not wait for us to attack their supply lines. They sent an armada to destroy this rogue forge planet today. I look at the main screen and see thousands of golden ships. They are flying in perfect formation toward our dark planet. The flagship is a massive floating cathedral made of crystal. It is armed with a cannon that can shatter the entire planet. Lyra looks at the screen and grips the arms of her big chair. They are going to blow up the forge, she says with a sad tone. I stand up and my purple veins pulse with extreme dark power. They can try, but they will fail, I reply with a cold smile. I open a ship-wide broadcast to all my loyal infected slaves, man the defense turrets, and prepare for absolute total war. The herald stands beside me and readies his dark, huge spear. I will lead the vanguard, my supreme master, the herald states. No, you will stay here and protect the queen, I command him. I am going to handle that shiny floating cathedral by myself. I walk to the airlock and step out onto the cold metal hull. The vacuum of space does not affect my advanced alien core. I spread my huge purple wings and launch myself into the void. I fly directly toward the massive golden armada at top speed. Thousands of golden fighters launch from the huge capital. They swarm around me like a cloud of annoying shiny bees. They fire holy lasers that bounce off my dark carbon armor. I do not even bother to dodge their pathetic weak attacks. I activate my space magic and create a massive gravity well. The fighters are pulled into the well and crush each other. Explosions light up the dark void of space like fireworks. I fly through the burning wreckage and approach the flagship. The cathedral charges its main cannon to destroy the forge. A massive beam of pure concentrated holy light shoots out. I teleport directly into the path of the giant blinding beam. I raise my hands and absorb the pure energy into my core. My internal alarms scream as my system overloads with power. But I am the God Eater, and I can consume absolutely anything. I convert the holy beam into a massive wave of dark code. I fire the corrupted energy right back at the huge cathedral. The purple beam hits their shields and shatters them easily. The viral code infects the crystal hull of the giant ship. Black veins spread across the cathedral and corrupt it. The ship loses power and starts drifting in the cold space. I land on the corrupted deck and slice open the main door. I walk into the grand hall where the Holy Admiral waits. He is a giant angel with 12 wings and a glowing crown. He draws a flaming sword and points it at my dark chest. You have doomed us all, you dark beast, he shouts with rage. I am not your doom, I am your salvation, I reply with a smile. I dash forward and grab his face before he swings his blade. My tendrils inject the dark swarm directly into his brain. He screams as I rewrite his mind and take over the fleet. The golden ships outside stop firing their heavy weapons. They turn around and aim their cannons at the Cosmic Council. I have acquired a massive armada without losing a single man. The Admiral bows to me and his glowing wings turn dark. I order him to lead the fleet back to the Forge world now. The universe is mine, and absolutely no one can stop me now. I fly back to the Dark Forge planet and land on my big ship. Lyra is waiting for me on the bridge with a very proud smile. You captured the entire armada, she says, and hugs me tight. They will make a fine addition to our swarm, I reply to her. The infected slaves begin boarding the captured golden ships. They strip the holy symbols and paint the hulls dark purple. The cloning vats in the factory finish their first batch. 10,000 dark seraphim fly out of the huge metal factory. They kneel before my ship and await my absolute dark commands. I assign them to pilot the corrupted fighters in the big war. The herald approaches me and bows his heavy neutron dark head. My lord, the fleet is ready for the final jump to the capital. I look at the holographic map and see the bright golden nebula. The Supreme Cosmic Council thinks they are safe in the fort. They have absolutely no idea what is about to hit their home. I turn to Lyra and decide to share my ultimate power with her. She has been my loyal queen since the beginning of this trip. She deserves to be a true goddess in my new dark empire now. I place my hands on her cheeks and look into her purple eyes. I am going to upgrade your biological core, my beautiful queen. It will hurt a lot, but you will become totally immortal now. She smiles and does not show even a single hint of any fear. I trust you completely, my supreme dark lord, she whispers. I inject a concentrated dose of my dark bots into her brain. She gasps and falls into my arms as the virus rewrites her. Her pale skin turns into a flawless shade of glowing white. Dark purple veins form elegant patterns across her pale face. 6 wings made of pure dark matter erupt from her small back. She opens her eyes and they shine with the power of a star. She is no longer human, she is the goddess of the dark swarm. She floats in the air and tests her new absolute cosmic power. She waves her hand and creates a small black hole in the room. She closes it instantly with a simple, effortless dark thought. This power is absolutely intoxicating. She laughs with pure joy. We are going to make the false gods bleed for their crimes. I sit back in the captain chair and open the fleet-wide comm. All ships prepare for the final dimensional jump to the core. We will arrive in their golden nebula and unleash pure hell. The thousands of corrupted ships power up their dark engines. The Forge planet itself begins to move as I activate engines. I am bringing the entire factory to the front line of the war. The massive dimensional rift opens in front of our dark fleet. We fly into the swirling purple vortex and leave the star. The transition is violent, but our dark shields hold perfectly. We emerge into a realm of blinding golden light and big magic. This is the core of the Supreme Cosmic Council and their base. Billions of elite holy guards float in the space around it. They see our massive corrupted fleet and raise their weapons. The final battle for the fate of the entire universe begins. I order the herald to lead the vanguard of dark fighters. He launches from the dreadnought with a swarm of dark angels. They crash into the holy guard formation and tear them apart. The dark plasma cannons on our capital ships open fire now. Huge purple beams slice through the glowing golden clouds. The Cosmic Council watches in terror as their defenses fall. I stand on the bridge and smile as the holy universe burns. I am the virus, and there is absolutely no cure for my swarm. The holy guards try to form a shield of pure bright light, but the dark seraphim use their claws to shred the barrier. The herald spins his neutron spear and creates a dark storm. He wipes out thousands of elite holy soldiers in 1 second. Lyra floats next to me and raises her hands to cast a spell. She summons a rain of purple meteors that crash into ships. The explosions echo through the vacuum of space like thunder. I order the Forge planet to activate its giant gravity well. The intense pull drags the enemy vessels toward our cannons. They try to escape, but their engines are too weak to break. We slaughter them without mercy and absorb their pure energy. My internal system constantly levels up as the battle rages. I unlock the final tier of the God Eater protocol right now. I can now directly hack the fabric of reality and its laws. I look at the giant golden palace hiding in the bright cloud. The Supreme Cosmic Council is panicking inside their fort. They send a desperate holographic message to my command deck. 3 ancient gods appear on the screen with terrified faces. Please stop this madness and we will surrender everything. We will make you the absolute ruler of the entire universe. I laugh, and the sound distorts the holographic projection. I am already the ruler of the universe, you pathetic cowards. I do not want your surrender. I want to consume your old code. I crush the console with my hand and cut off their begging. I turn to Lyra and tell her to take command of the fleet. I'm going to pay a personal visit to the council right now. I teleport directly from the bridge into their golden palace. I appear in a massive circular room filled with artifacts. The 3 ancient gods are sitting on their crystal thrones. They gasp in pure shock as my dark aura corrupts their floor. Guards they scream with high-pitched voices full of fear, but no guards come to save them because my army killed them. I walk slowly toward the thrones and my purple blade extends. You created a universe of suffering to feed your huge greed. Now you will experience the exact same pain you gave mortals. I swing my blade and shatter the first crystal throne easily. The god falls to the floor and I stomp on his glowing head. My viral tendrils inject into his skull and drain his life. He turns into gray ash and I absorb his infinite knowledge. The other two gods try to fly away, but I freeze the space. They are trapped like tiny bugs in a drop of hardened amber. I walk up to them and place my dark hands on their chests. The God Eater protocol starts the final cosmic assimilation. Their divine energy flows into my system and pushes my power. I delete their existence from the universal code and matrix. The Golden Palace turns black and the nebula turns purple. The war is officially over and the Dark Swarm is the victor. I look out the window and see my massive fleet in the sky. Lyra teleports into the room and stands by my side smiling. We have consumed the heavens and remade the universe today.
The following video and all of its content are entirely fictional and are the original copyrighted creation of the author. My story is created solely for TTK narrative purposes within a fictional universe. There is no way encourage violence or dangerous behavior and should not be attempted in real life. Please note that all characters depicted in this work are entirely fictional and are strictly portrayed as being 18 years of age or older. This content is created solely for entertainment purposes and it's not intended to offend, malign, incite violence, or cause harm to any individual, group, or entity. This channel goes beyond entertainment. It is designed to deliver immense value, revealing profound meanings and deep insights through stories that make you think and feel on a whole new level.